What's up, guys? This is Ryan. I have something pretty interesting for you today. My buddy King Kong, number 9 in the world right now, has agreed to share with me his daily summaries from the past 3 weeks or so. So we were fairly close in VP. When these took place, we were probably within 50 of one another. He was ahead of me. We both had 7 boosted ice. We played like our own styles, our own strategies, but we had relatively similar layouts. We both cleared as much as we could. All things considered, I feel like we were pretty close, though there are 1.5 million variables as to what goes into this. One thing to note before I start, I'm not trying to take anything away from what he's accomplished. In my opinion, he's a better player than I am by a good margin. I just wanted to share with you guys because these numbers are weird. Another thing, he's about to be passed by this guy with 2 boosted ice and 8 offense. This guy's coming up really close on him with no ice at all. So he's not even the most extreme example of this. He's just the only one that I could get consistent stats about. So I'll flip over and start showing you now. This begins on April 20th. I'm comparing scouts and raids between us over the course of 2 or 3 weeks. I have a list of his daily summary versus mine, and then a running total at the bottom. By scouts here, I mean unique players scouting him, so it will say 50 scouts by 30 players, and the 30 is the number I'm taking, so that's different people who look at your base each day. So to start, he had 19 scouts and 8 raids versus 38 scouts and 10 raids for me. Second day, he had 18 scouts and 8 raids to my 42 scouts and 15 raids. This green number at the bottom is a running total of the difference in scouts and the difference in raids between us. Third day, 20 scouts to 45 scouts. He had a bit more raids than I did that day, which is interesting. 23rd of April, 18 scouts versus 41. We had the same number of raids, though. 24th, 19 scouts versus 40, and I was way above him in raids that day. 25th, 17 scouts versus 37 scouts. Pretty consistently through here, I had more than double his scouts and a few more raids than him. Like today, or the 26th, he had 14 of my 39, and I had 12 raids to his 7, so 4, 5 more. On the 27th, 17 scouts and 11 raids versus 40 scouts and 12 raids. 28th, 14 scouts versus 37 scouts. 29th, 14 scouts versus 35 scouts. On the 30th, 15 versus 43. On May 1st, 19 scouts and 8 raids versus 46 scouts and 11 raids. The second, 21 scouts versus 41 scouts. On the third, 17 scouts versus 37 scouts. On the 4th, 14 versus 38. On the 5th, 19 versus 42. On the 6th, 16 versus 45. And on the 7th, this was my last day with ice. He had 17 and 8 raids. I had 41 and 9 raids. So total at the end of the ice period, I was plus 416 scouts on him, which is more than double what he had. And I was plus 43 raids on my base throughout the 2 or 3 weeks. On the 8th, I cut my ice, and I had 48 scouts and 45 raids. I think he had a couple more days, but I kept going for a little bit here to show you how my raids looked as I had no ice, because I had a lot of people saying, oh, it'll just even out as soon as you cut ice, because it's people who are skipping you and then scouting you again the next day. So day 2, I had 38 scouts, 37 raids. Day 3, 39 scouts and 41 raids by 37 players, so 4 of them spawned me twice and raided me both times. On the 11th, 33 scouts and 32 raids. The 12th, 35 scouts and 35 raids. And the 13th, 34 scouts and 32 raids. By this point, I'm down around 1,600, and he's up approaching 1900. So maybe, I'm sure it'll drop more as I go, but I've been above 30 every day since I cut ice. Finally, a running total statistics. I cut out the days that I didn't have ice, so this is only when we both had 7 boosted ice. He averaged 17.2 scouts to my 40.57, and he averaged 8.71 raids to 11.6. So I had more than double his scouts, and I averaged about 3 additional raids each day, which is much less than you'd expect with double the scouts, but over the course of a push, 3 additional raids per day is absolutely massive. The range on our stats, he had a low of 14 scouts and a high of 21. I had a low of 35 scouts and a high of 48. He had a low of 5 raids and a high of 15. I had a low of 6 raids and a high of 17. So looking at all this stuff, I have no clue at all what's causing it. It looks like there's something weird happening, but I can't tell you what it is. I can't tell you why it's happening. Can't tell you what it means or that it even exists, and it's not just me, like, coming up with stuff in my head. But I thought I'd share this all with you because it looks really weird that every day for 3 weeks he had less than half of the scouts on my base when we were pretty similar, all things considered. So let me know what you think. According to Crazy Turtle, Supercell has heard about this and they're interested in people's opinions. So if you have an opinion, then let me know in the comments so that I can see it and so that Drew can see it or whoever. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'll catch you next time. Until then, my name is Ryan. This is the PSC Life. Happy booming.